watching What Women Want on Pinky TV. My name is Pinky Gilani, and these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank. Remember, if you comment below and tell us who your superhero is, you could stand a chance of winning a phone with Safaricom. I'm super excited with season 4 because we are getting to meet all our superheroes. Today, I'm joined by Nduta Kangethe. Did I say it right? Oroaku.
At least you got the Oroaku correct.
Oh gosh. Is it to Nduta Kangethe? Nduta.
Yes.
Okay. She's the head of the Secretariat of the Kenya Association of International Schools, a member of the COVID-19 committee, and a member of the KEPSA Education Secretariat Board. She's extremely passionate about the rights of children and the right of women to exist as themselves. Nduta, tell me, what does that mean?
Thank you very much for having me, by the way, and to whoever nominated me, first and foremost. Yes. Very humbled. So for me, what it means for the right of women to exist as themselves, it is, I feel that when boys are born, there is no question as to how they should exist. It is taken, human rights really, I've always felt, were male or
male rights,
the rights of boys and men.
Yeah.
But women had to earn by belonging either to your father or to your husband or to something. There was really no, you have to belong to someone or to something to exist as yourself, to have permission to be. So you can be, if you are sick and you cast everybody discusses how you dress, what you look like, and so on and so forth, until you're married and belong to somebody, and then you are suddenly deemed worthy of everything that you do. So for me, existing as yourself is just that. A woman and a man can exist just as they are and be judged on the merits of their character, and that's that. The standard is the same for both.
I like it.
Yeah.
What is the state of women empowerment in Kenya?
The word empowerment troubles me.
Okay. I like
and I don't even know why it troubles me.
Because I'm all about empowerment, so I like it.
I'm very much for empowerment, but I feel like empowerment is, you're given this right. It's conferred on you. It's given by someone, and ideally it shouldn't be that way. It's intrinsic. It exists
within you
already. So empowerment means, for me, it means you're given a little, then a little, then a little. It's almost like you're earning it.
Like freedom.
Yes, so I don't know. I have issues with it, but maybe that's a discussion for another day. I feel we've come a long way as women. I mean, I think our mothers, we're like our mothers' greatest dreams. We can meet here. We can have bank accounts. We can rise. Corporate ladder.
Low cut
yes,
tops.
we can do all these things, and the judgment is not as much as it used to be. However, what I feel is that we never really unpacked those conversations and the reasons around them. What they did is we made looking at women a certain way unfashionable, sometimes criminal, and so those things just went underground. But when you, what do you call it? When you just scratch the surface a little, everybody's sexism, inherent sexism comes out. And I feel that perhaps the next phase of empowerment should be, can we deal with our inherent feelings about women, about should we own them, about their existence, about is it a men versus women conversation, you know? So that's what I feel, that we've gone a long way in validating the existence, the reason, or what can we call it, validating the right of women to exist as themselves. But it's just a discussion that went underground. If you peel layers, you find it's still the same. Maybe perhaps that's what we should talk about.
That's really interesting, because you know, nowadays you hear a lot about trans this and trans that. I was watching something about transsexual. You understand what that is?
Yes.
So it's a man.
Well, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also hoping that I get it right.
Okay.
That it's somebody who's a man who wants to, or identifies rather, as a woman, and maybe vice versa.
Yeah.
So there's also trans ageism. or trans age. So if I'm 45, which I am, but if I identify as a 20-year-old.
Sorry. Okay.
Yes. Yay.
Okay.
But yeah, if I identify as a 20-year-old or a 70-year-old, I can petition the court to change my birth certificate. Yeah. And then there's all sorts of trans this and trans this. So I feel like the lines are blurring. And as we move ahead in life, in the future, if we don't clarify, we are going to get, it's going to get murkier and filthier. And somebody was saying, and I watched this, and he's like, if you identify as a 20-year-old, so tomorrow your son, who's 3, can say, I identify as a 54-year-old. And then the 20-year-old and the 54-year-old can get married. Now, do you see where it gets warped?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we need to be very clear.
Yes.
And when you're talking about unlayering, unraveling, going deeper, so when we say on the surface, this is who we are we really? And are the changes being made? And are the changes clear?
First and foremost, please, when we wrap this up, you write down what you do for your skin and your feet. I can buy that.
You know what I always say? Black women can't ask me that because black don't crack. That's no denying.
Anyway, we will talk about that. But that said, gender is, there are all these arguments about whether it's biological or a social construct. And I feel like, for me, as Nduta, I feel like those conversations take away from humanity. If we could, and layering for me is not that. Those are very relevant issues, the trans issues. The transsexual issues, let me put it that way. The trans age, I do not understand, and I don't know that I want to understand. It's too much. But I feel like, for me, unpacking the layers is asking ourselves, why do we feel that dignity has to be given? Why isn't it inherent? Why do I feel like if I meet Pinky, I can only respect her if I know what her socioeconomic class is, or whether she's male or female?
That
so
is society. That is society.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So I feel like perhaps that should be the first conversation, because we were not inherently, at least I can say this for the Kikuyus, since I am Kikuyu, we were not inherently that way. Something made us that way. And perhaps we should unpack all those things and discuss them. We were matrilineal. Why are we suddenly now feeling like, the problems of the community reside in the clitoris of a woman and we want to cut it off? I mean, seriously, we are back in 2021, we are back there.
Yeah.
As a community, it's stupid. Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay, good. It is stupid. But I feel like, for me, the discussion should be, why do we feel like dignity has to be awarded? It is not inherent in us. Why do we feel like that? Why do I feel as a man that the only way I can respect a woman is if I know who she's owned by? If I know her father, or if I know her husband. Why can't I respect her anyway? Why, as a woman, can't I respect a man unless the only way I can do so or treat him in a certain way is if I know what he owns? So for me, the conversations around gender really are not so much about gender. They're about our dignity as human beings. There is something we have cheapened dignity. We are born with it. I owe it to you and you owe it to me, not because of how I look, not because of whether I'm a man or a woman, not because of what race I am. You owe it to me because I am a human being. I should owe it to you because you're a human being. But we've just found ways to segment ourselves and therefore make dignity for sale. So gender should be about that. Like in Kenya, for example, my entire thing with the trans conversation is that it's such a hard existence, I don't know that anyone would choose it except if that is who they really are.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we embraced dignity and compassion and empathy, we would be halfway there, rather than looking at how to other people. because we are so big on othering, you know. We're either othering men and women, we other class.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the conversation for gender, really, the conversation about gender, about women empowerment, about where they are, it is a conversation about dignity. And forget everything we say and hear and like to tell ourselves. How our society treats its women is how it views itself.
Wow,
And
that's
if you
powerful.
look at how, as Kenya, we have treated our women, it is how we have treated this country.
It's true.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
so, yeah, so the day we can have, it is inherently how we see ourselves as a people. So the day we can have that discussion, I feel, is the day we begin to unpack layers around what it has become. It shouldn't be this hard. Should it?
I think you know, there is a lot of complication around it.
Yep.
And I think a lot of it, when you say why do we have to wait to be awarded dignity? I think that also comes from upbringing.
Yep.
You know, so there's a lot, and like you said, it's layers. There's a lot of unpeeling. There's a lot of conversations that we can have around this. You know, when you bring up gender so passionately, I'd really love to know, pick your brain a little bit. We've seen gender-based violence maybe even go viral in recent times, right? And I remember I posted about it, and some men were like, wait, it's only one side of the story, there's no... And I'm a person, I do self-defense classes. Classes. So I suddenly found myself, because I'm always up for a debate, I'm always interested in hearing the other side.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, if I know how to harm someone because of self-defense, is it wrong of the person that I may be harming, and if he is male, to defend himself? So it's a very fine line.
It is.
It is a fine line. And I'm not saying that either or, we're not sitting here and saying who is wrong or who did this or who did that. But is there a fine line between violence and self-defense? Or are there, no, again, blurred line?
I think everything in life it's shades of grey, yeah? But I will say this. And it may sound controversial. It may sound like I'm placing an immediate burden on the male. But this is what I say. To whom much is given, much is expected. I have an 11-year-old son. When I get home and he runs towards me to hug me, I actually have to put everything down and stand properly. If I'm in heels, I have to remove them. Yeah. I am his mother. But if he comes at me properly, we will both fall. You know,
yes.
When that child gets to 13 or 14, if he wants to beat me up, he can.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing I'll ever do to match his physical strength.
Right.
It is his gift. Therefore, he must use it. He must remember that I am not that strong and measure it. That is the burden placed on men, to remember that women are
not as strong,
as physically strong.
Yes.
It is biological, it is what it is. I will say this for women though, while we cannot be matched in terms of strength, we can hurt with words. And if somebody pushes you far enough, it is easy to react. I get it. I see those arguments on social media too. But in this country, and we must say it, more women, I think thrice the number of women get killed in marriages than men. It is not an imagination. It is a fact. Every year, I'm in education, so every year we lose, I can't remember the statistic at this point, number of children they get pregnant.
Yeah. Yes.
The vast majority of them, it is from their homes. It is somebody they know. It is rape. They are raped by men. So when women say they are unsafe, it is not an imagination. It's just something that has gone on for years. It is you, Pinky, when it gets to a certain hour of the night and you've parked down here at the basement of the trademark, you will think about 3 times about how you want to go.
Get in.
Yes, yeah. It is knowing instinctively that there are places in this city you can't walk dressed a certain way.
Yes.
It is walking and seeing a crowd of men and feeling very afraid. because it has happened to you. It is that 9 in 10 women has faced some form of sexual abuse or other. It is not a lie. It is our life. It is not a feeling. So when men tell us to face to look at the other side of the coin,
it's hard.
All we hear is, well, the usual. There it is. It is the equivalent of being told when a person has been raped, how was she dressed?
Yes.
It is the equivalent of that. And it doesn't take that conversation anywhere. And it is and even when you're told that, oh, the whataboutism, what about that man who was attacked? I mean, in my opinion, there is no lower form of engagement. Can we discuss the issue
what happened
at hand?
Yeah.
And sometimes I join people on Facebook who say, but men, you have voices too. So speak up for the abused man. Women do it all the time. But when a man is abused, it is men that laugh at him. It is
Yes. Yeah.
So when you say it is socialization, for me, that is it. This thing that allows us to be cruel to victims of any kind, which is why men don't come forward when they are raped. More likely than not, you will be laughed at. Your manhood will be denigrated. That won't happen from women. The majority of those who do it will be men.
Yeah.
So there is something broken, I think, in how we relate or in how we socialize. In how we are socialized, I'm not sure. I keep saying, I write these posts on Facebook and I keep saying, I don't get it sometimes. We give birth to men, we raise them, we love them, we marry them.
But what went wrong?
But when we're abused, they laugh. Or they ask, what about? Or they ask us what we were doing. But whichever the case, it is always the woman's fault.
So as somebody
I don't get it.
Who's involved in education,
Yes.
do you think that mental health should be part of the curriculum?
Thankfully, it now is.
Okay.
It now is, and has been. It's been a what can we call it? It's been an ongoing thing.
Yes.
I think more needs to be done, and it should not just be a part of the curriculum. It should be part of everyday life for all of us. We are a society in flux. We are not who we used to be. We are not the identity our colonizers gave us. We are becoming something, and that's hard on a people, and we need to unpack all those things. We are doing it in the middle of a pandemic. We are doing it in the middle of men and women almost looking like they're at war, yet they cannot exist without each other.
Yes.
So yes, mental health really matters, and it should be professionalized. Let teachers be trained on how to approach and look at children and see the issues they're dealing with. Let it be a weekly thing. I applaud, international schools, I applaud them. I mean, they have resources, but I don't think it is hard to replicate. That every week there is a theme, or every term there is a theme you walk around as an entire school, whether it is respect and you unpack what that means,
Yes.
whether it is different types of families and you unpack what that means, so that children don't feel alone, children don't feel like their issues are unique and no one else is going through them, and even open up those spaces to parents.
Yeah.
I think it is really important. Yes, so mental health. If we are to move forward with women empowerment, actually if we are to change, if we are to make this conversation about dignity, I think maybe it is our children who do it, because they will understand what it means to have dignity, and to give it freely to people and expect it.
Yeah.
And we can do that. Maybe we haven't done it for ourselves, but we can do that for our children. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So why is it important? I was going to say, what does it? Forget the word empowerment because we don't like that word. But let's talk about educated.
Yeah.
And there are very many levels of education.
Yes.
Right? So let's not talk about maybe academics, but just general education, which means that holistically you are aware of your surroundings, you're empathetic, you have EQ, IQ to some level. What is an educated woman's contribution to society?
What isn't? Really, what isn't? You know, we throw around that saying, when you educate a woman, you educate the village.
The community.
We think it's a joke, but it's true. There is nothing as profound. There's nothing that changes families more than educating a woman. Because an educated woman, and this is just statistics, you know, 97% of educated women ensure their children are more educated than them. Not just educated, but more educated than them. 97%, not 97%, I can't remember the statistic, but less, but those women also have lesser children. Because they can provide a better quality of life for them. Their children are better nourished because they know about nutrition.
Yes.
So it's endless. It is endless because women nurture homes, women nurture families, and everything they learn, they translate to that. And if we're looking for examples, really, all we have to do is look at Finland. When they made the shift to educate their women, now the education system happens to be the best.
It's the best in the world.
The best in the world. It is that is the value of educating a woman. That entire society will shift. And like I said, how a society treats its women is really how it treats itself. How a society views its women is how it views itself. And that, if we can get that right, we can get so much right. And perhaps the first thing is ensuring that women are educated, because sometimes it boils down to holding up a stop sign and saying, okay, that was far enough. From this day henceforth, we will not be taking our dehumanization lightly, that far. This is as far as we can go. And perhaps we can begin to have conversations with our children, both boys and girls. And yes, maybe it is, there is some truth in saying that we have, can we call it, empowered the girl child and perhaps neglected the boy child.
You said the word.
Yes, I said it. I can't find the equivalent. Maybe, but it's not so much the case because, you know, truly, frankly speaking, the man still owns the table, the chair, and the space. It is just that, as happens everywhere in the world, when change starts to happen, makes people uncomfortable. Perhaps the conversation we need to have is with men, how to empower, not how to empower, but how do they work with this empowered woman? Because we want women to be empowered until they are married, and then we want them to revert to a certain role, and that's bound to create a clash. We tell women, go to school, get this job, empower yourself, and we tell men, go to school, get this job, empower yourself. And we tell these same children that when you get married, you have these expectations of this person and these expectations of this person, without training them about what that means. And it just leads to eventual conflict, so that while at the first thing man will think of a woman is she's a woman, not she's a woman in the traditional sense. It translates to workplaces and so on and so forth. So it's just layering. I feel that if we educate women, more women, lots of women, all women, we can begin to change that conversation, because they're the first socializers of the children. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
What makes you laugh the most?
I don't know.
That question maybe.
Yes.
Do you collect anything?
Yes.
What?
Books.
Books.
I'm an art.
Okay.
And Lord of the Rings memorabilia.
Wow.
Can I say that?
Yeah. Wow. So that genre of books.
Yeah, that genre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a clean or a messy person?
I am clean-ish.
Okay.
I'm not messy, I'm
Organized chaos, maybe?
clean. No, I do like to be organized, but it's not because it's because I cannot find anything.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
So you're cleanish.
Yes.
Have you ever broken the law?
My mother will watch this. No, ma'am, I have not.
Okay, because you're a superhero in your community, it means you're going beyond, your call of duty. So I have some superhero questions for you.
Okay.
When does a superhero know that their work is done?
I don't think they ever do know that. I do know that because I know, no, it's never done. I think when they take their last breath,
Okay.
then it's done for them.
Does a superhero rely solely on their superpowers, or do they go beyond and dig deep to salvage a situation?
I think it's a second one. They go deep and into themselves to try and salvage a situation. Most times they don't even know that they're doing it. They're just living.
What can you be the best at in the world? You.
I can be kind.
What if you were a real superhero? What would be your superpower?
Invisibility.
Why?
Because you get to listen to, my job is negotiating. Literally, that's what I do. I do meetings and negotiate on behalf of my group of schools with government and other parties. It would be so nice to know the lay of the land before. It would be very nice. Invisibility would be perfect.
So now we're going to play a superhero game, and because we don't have any buzzer, because it's low budget, Olive is standing behind the camera. She's going to ask us a series of questions. What you're going to do is you're going to raise your hand, and Sam is going to edit in the sound. So it sounds like we have a buzzer, and it'd be really cool because we're like superheroes. We're doing this, hand? And there's anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we're really cool superheroes. We'll be doing this, and there'll be a noise magically appearing. All right. So whoever wins gets nothing. But we're going to have fun.
Okay.
Are you still ready to play? Okay, let's go.
I wasn't ready for the no budget.
No budget, no gifts. Hey.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. We're here though. Ready, Olive? Let's go.
Name any 5 superheroes you know.
So, wait, do I have to do this?
Yes,
okay,
you
good.
do.
Okay. I was fast. Superman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, King T'Challa.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And Okoye. Beat that.
I can't. Wait, can I try?
Yeah.
Can I do the same? No?
No.
See? Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah,
I'm very competitive.
What is Superman's weakness?
Kryptonite. You made it a competition now. And it's
Beast
green.
is the medical doctor for which movie?
Spider-Man.
You did
Flash, Supergirl, X-Men.
X-Men.
Yes.
That was a guess.
No, it
was a guess.
Who gets his power from a ring? Captain America, Green Lantern, Thor.
Green Lantern.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, you better ask me any questions, okay? So let me put
Which island does Wonder Woman come from?
The Miskira.
Penguin Island, Destiny Island,
Themyscira.
Paradise Island.
Wait, none of
Say
the
it
above.
again?
Wait, say again.
Which island does Wonder Woman come from? Penguin Island, Destiny Island, Paradise Island.
Paradise.
Paradise, but that's wrong though. No, it is not. It's the Miskira. Correct.
Who said, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Spider-Man, Iron Man, The Shadow.
The Shadow.
That was a clever guess.
That was a guess. I was like,
Which superhero can transform back to his human form? The
the thing,
Invisible Hulk.
the thing.
Ask another one.
Ask us. We'll stand here all day.
Who was the first female superhero of the Justice Society of America?
Wonder Woman.
You didn't raise your hand.
You're not hearing the buzzer.
Diana Price. She's still Wonder Woman. Yeah, never mind. It's okay. I still won. This IBC is not proper or properly constituted.
Okay, final question to say who the winner is.
If I find out it was pre-marked, I'll take it personally.
Name Iron Man's villain.
Iron Man's.
The dude in yellow who tried to kill him.
Oh,
Whose
stop.
name I can't remember. I know.
Give us a clue.
Please. I know the wife was called Pepper.
Chinese language.
In Iron Man 1, 2, or 3. You know, because they were different. But they were different.
Really?
In which Iron Man? They were.
Chinese. Chinese language. Ni hao.
Just say, who is it?
Well,
Mandarin.
oh my God, that's so bad.
I know.
So we both failed.
Yeah.
All of you won. So because these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank, of course I have to bring out my money cards, and I'm going to ask Nduta to pull a card. Don't be scared, it's nothing. It's just, we're going to find out how much money you have in your bank. No, I'm kidding. Easy questions.
Are they?
One is about you and one is about money.
Okay.
And your thoughts on money. What are you most insecure about?
Money-wise or as a person?
Any?
I'm very scared of being poor.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. No, the thing that scares me the most, and it came with the pandemic, is waking up and finding myself with that, you know, those bills you see around floating on Facebook, 12 billion ICU bill. That scares me. Scares me half to death.
Oh gosh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I never thought about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is scary. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's a term that we hear a lot. Do you agree or disagree?
No, it depends, I think, for me. It depends. It depends on the tree. Depends on the soil too. So if I had generational wealth,
Pick.
it may be on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, the fruit may have fallen. I can
Yeah.
pick. Yeah, it doesn't. Money doesn't grow itself.
Yeah.
I will say that. It doesn't grow on trees. Yes. So I agree and disagree. Not agree and disagree. I think it's nuanced.
Okay.
Yeah. For
Perfect.
me.
So your chance to win with Safaricom is right now. If you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, then you're up ahead in front of everyone else. What you need to do though is comment on this video and let us know who you think in your community is a superhero. If you want to win it that much more, what you need to do is share this video on your social media platforms and make sure you tag us so we know that you have shared. And who knows, you could win a phone with Safaricom. Nduta, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for your insights. I think we have to bring you back to debate so much more. There's so much we can still discuss here, but we've run out of time for today. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you
Nduta,
for
and
having
Thank you
me.
for watching.
All right.
Bye.